Thipa, who will be talking about innovations achieved at a sports stage. So on the topic sports stage. So you will be learning more about what are the various innovations that are happening in the field of sports, and I hope you'll get a lot of insights by the end of the session. Before we move on with the content, I'll just give a small introduction about our speaker for today. So, our speaker is Mithran Thipa, who is currently working as Senior Content Manager at ZenMinds Working Technologies. He completed his undergraduate at Chennai, and he further went on to pursue his higher studies at Loughborough University at London. So, he pursued Master of Science in Sports Business and Innovation. He had a stint at various organizations, and right now he is working at ZenMinds Sporting Technologies. He has coordinated various sports events, including marathons, which which have been in the various Guinness World Records for the largest number of virtual participants for the marathon. And before let us not take much time, and let us give the virtual dais to Mr. Mithran Deepa, who will be continuing with today's session. Sir, you can continue with today's session. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Suraj. Can I start?
Yeah, sure, we can start.
Yes. Thank you, Suraj, for inviting me to give a webinar on this on a subject which I love very much. And thank you, Team 2020 Helpers, for giving me this opportunity to present this. So, um, basically, I'm a sports lover. I see everything in the world through the lens of sports. That's how I've been living my life. So, it's since I'm taking a webinar on sports, it doesn't mean like I'm no expert in sports. I'm learning every day, but the following webinar is going to be based on my observations in sports, in the sports world, in the sports industry, what I have been observing for the past 15 years or so. So all the images, I mean, for the disclaimer part, the images I use, I don't own it. I just use it to make the presentation look good, and also to make me look good. So I don't own the images. So coming to the topic, innovations are cheap. uh, you might think how innovations might be cheap, but if you look at most of the innovations around the world, it has it's been born out of financial restrictions. So that's why I think most of the innovations are cheap. So we look at sport examples from around the world. So to start with, uh, you might know these players. So you know Paul Pogba, you know Riyad Mahrez, you know Benjamin Mendy. All three players have had like superb careers in their respective teams. Uh, so all of them have been transferred. Their last transfer fees has been for on the excess of 50 million and plus. So there's a there's a single point of connection between all these three players. I mean, since if can anybody answer in this webinar? Is it possible, Suraj?
Yes, it is possible. We have the live session going on. So, speakers, learners, you can answer it using the YouTube chat box, and we'll get it conveyed to the speaker.
Okay. So there's a connection between all these three footballers, and if you can find the connection, please let me know in the comment section. We can have 30 seconds for that. I hope most of our listeners are also into football, and I hope all those who follow football in this webinar also know these players. Did we find any answers?
No, we haven't any response. So we'll wait for a few seconds,
You,
and then if not, we can just continue.
no, we'll go with it. So, all these three players who have been legends in their own positions, they started their career at a smaller club called Le Havre in France. So this is not one of the big European clubs who have won multiple Champions League and multiple domestic cups. So this is a very small club based in Normandy in France. I mean, this is one of the France's oldest football clubs, and they have never won a domestic title in over 100 years. So this has been the starting point for all the three players. So with that, we move on to the next fact, which is SD Ibar. Since I didn't get any answers for the first question, I'm going to move on and say what does this mean? I mean, what am I trying to say with SD Ibar? So SD Ibar is a Spanish football club. So they have this crazy record of like they were when they were trying to get promotion to the top division in Spanish football, which is the La Liga. They were forced to have more capital in their club because their total salary purse, I mean, the total value of their club was less than 1 million, and the Spanish football law says that you should have at least like 1.6 million to enter the top division of Spanish football. So they have innovated, they have used different means, and they have somehow tried to push towards the top division of Spanish football. Even then, they were not allowed to get into the top flight football just because they didn't have enough capital. So innovations might sometimes come at a cost, but innovation is an innovation. So next, a small introduction about me. So I I've like I've explored various job roles in sports industry. I've been a text commentator. I've been a sports analyst. I've been a journalist. I've collaborated with Chelsea and West Ham, and I also organized virtual marathons. So uh, I, I when I started a career in sports, I just wanted to be with sports. That's my only aim. So I didn't have a clear plan. Uh, so I just explored anything I can. So that's the reason why I've been going around and around. So I've completed my master's in sports business and innovation from Loughborough University, London. That's it about me, with a very beautiful picture of me, if you find it beautiful. Next. So if we talk about sports innovations or data analysis, you can never leave out Moneyball, the movie. Actually, if you can even go to the extent of saying Brad Pitt has done more to sports analysis and sports innovation than anyone in this world. So, like I hope many of our listeners would have listened to would have seen this movie called Moneyball. It's a movie about a baseball player who compete. So they start to quantify players based on their performances, and they based on the data and statistics they have, they pick up a group of lesser valued players, and they go on a run. They win like 21 games in a row, which is a record which I think it still stands now. 21 games in succession, they win 21 games in a row. So this quantification of performances in sports has never been done before on this scale. There's been bits and pieces of data and statistics in sports, but uh, Oakland Athletics, headed by Billy Bean, was the be- the thing which revolutionized sports analytics once for all. I mean, like we in cricket, we have been having so much data which we have never used until we saw this thing called until this Moneyball thing revolutionized the sport. So even we have, I mean, take for instance in cricket, we have so many data. At least, I mean, just looking at the scoreboard data, we have so much things uh, to look upon, but we see them with a lot of biases. So Moneyball went right through it, and it gave us a, I mean, it's really a revolution in sports analytics. And for people who have not seen this film, you should see it, at least for Brad Pitt. The next one, Sunil Narayan, the opening batsman. So this is one of the curious experiments done by KKR in 2017. So, as you all know, Sunil Narayan opened the batting for Kolkata Knight Riders. Sunil Narayan is not usually the kind of batsman. I mean, I mean, to consider him a batsman itself is a is a ridiculous thing. But Sunil Narayan was given the opportunity to open, but there was a lot of thinking and there are a lot of analysis behind that. So, to start with, Northamptonshire is a team in English County Cricket. So they have not won they have not won championships in a row. So one of the things they experimented with was David Willey, who's a bowler and a pinch hitter. For those of you who don't know what a pinch hitter is anyone who looks at the ball and hits the ball, irrespective of uh, irrespective of what the length or the line of the ball is. He just uh, hits the ball, see the ball, hit the ball. Kind of guy is called a pinch hitter. So a pinch hitter like David Willey was promoted as an opener, and to everyone's surprise, he started performing well, and even he scored a century. So KKR on average until to the build up of the 2017 IPL had lost only like 4 5 wickets per game. So they were having like 5 wickets which was sitting empty for every game. So Sunil Narayan's only approach to opening the batting was have fun, nothing less. So imagine the situation. So if Sunil Narayan gets out, nothing is lost for KKR. But if Sunil Narayan gets going, it gives them a very good opening partnership. They get valuable runs in the power play. So, and Sunil Narayan has also opened for Renegades in BBL. That helps him. So all these factors have come together, and Sunil Narayan opened for KKR. Sunil Narayan opening for KKR has been a big disruption in terms of how we look at the sport of cricket. Though it didn't last for long, uh, his promotion as an opening batsman is definitely one of the most. It's still not has been studied well. It will be one of the best case studies to do if you're looking for a case study in cricket. This is the one to. Next, Barclay Marathon. So, the Barclay Marathon is one of my favorite stories in sports because it doesn't even qualify for the top 5 marathons in the world, but it is the toughest marathon in the world. It's not being run on a flat surface. So the story behind Barclay Marathon is the guy who assassinated Martin Luther King. He was imprisoned in Texas, and he tried to escape the prison, and he escaped. And when he came out of the prison, it was just forest. So he ran for 2 days, and all he could cover was not more than like 10 kilometers. On that similar time period, this guy called Lazarus Lake, He was a trail runner. Trail running means any marathon which is not run on a flat surface is called trail running. So this guy Lazarus Lake was a trail runner. So this guy hearing this news about the Martin Luther King's assassin only ran for 10 kilometers in 2 days. He took it upon himself, saying that I can run close to 100 kilometers in those time period. So he and his trail running friends, they ran around the forest and found a circuit which which is full of like it's the toughest marathon. It has snow, it has thorns, it has like single feet pathways. So I'll just say the statistics of finishers who have finished. I mean, I'll just say the number of people who have finished this race, and you'll know how tough it is. This race has been going on from 1990s, and just 16 people have finished this race. Each year, 25 people start the race, and just this so far only 16 people have finished this race. And in 2016, there was a guy who missed this finishing point by like 10 seconds. They have a time limit. Like, you should complete this race within 60 hours. And this guy in 2016 lost the race. Like he finished the race just 16 seconds later and still didn't get it. So that's how tough this is. So another interesting thing about Barclay Marathon is usually a marathon starts by waving of flag or gunshot, many things. But this marathon starts when the inventor of the marathon starts smoking. The guy who you see on the right side with the smoke, that's Lazarus Lake. He's the founder of the marathon. So this when this guy starts smoking, that indicates the start of the marathon. And every time a marathon a racer who gives up on the race is being given a Spanish funeral song, which is called the tapas, I guess. So this is one of the toughest races in the world. There's also a documentary which is based on this marathon. If you guys can get the documentary, please do watch it. People who are wondering what kind of an innovation is this, I will tell you at that last. So I've kept all the reasons why these innovations are cheap at the last. So I will tell you why I chose this marathon as an innovation. Next, Memphis Depay. This guy is also a disruptor in terms of transferring from one club to another. So Memphis Depay is a Dutch footballer. He started his career in the Dutch club called PSV Eindhoven. He transferred from PSV Eindhoven to a giant of a club like Manchester United. So he was there in Manchester United for 2 years, but all he could manage was score 2 goals in 33 games. He was a forward. Basically, a forward's job description is to score goals or at least assist. He was doing neither of that for 2 seasons. So unable to find why he wasn't performing well, his agent went to a data analysis company called Sci Sports. So what basically happened is Sci Sports came up with a list of 10 clubs which could suit Memphis' style, which could suit uh, Memphis Depay style, and the club style should blend it at some ways. So they came up with a bunch of clubs, and Olympic Lyon was the club he chose. And he went to Olympic Lyon, and within 1 year, he became the most valued player in that league. So what I'm trying to say here is, even with all that money in Manchester United, like billions of them, they couldn't fit a player like Memphis Depay. And with all the salary he got at Manchester United, Memphis Depay couldn't make a career out of it. So if for people who are following like European football, you know that he recently moved to Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in world football. So I'm trying to say is, if even if you have all the money in the world, you can't get some things right. Memphis Defe's career is one of the prime examples for that. The next one, Red Bull. So you might have heard about Red Bull, the energy drink. So I like how they market their energy drink. So Red Bull have invested in multiple sports like F1, football, adventure sports, and they have also recently tried to get into cricket as well. So all they do, like take for instance F1. So if you like a Mercedes driver, for example, so if you like Lewis Hamilton, so you want to associate yourself with Lewis Hamilton or the company he drives for, which is Mercedes. You like, not everyone can afford a Mercedes or a Ferrari if you like Ferrari, but if you want to associate with Red Bull, you can associate yourself with just an energy drink, which costs you not more than 200 rupees. Same with the case of football. So the Red Bull's story of Red Bull's storytelling uh, has been like has been another innovation where you can associate yourself with the cheapest product available within their competitors. So as I said in the beginning, innovations are always born out of financial restrictions. Otherwise, money could buy it. You might always see that all the best teams in the world are the teams with a lot of money. They don't necessarily innovate anything, but they buy the best players with the help of money. So, take for instance, uh, Oakland Athletics didn't have money, so they innovated with a cheap trick, which later came to be known as Moneyball. Even even this guy, this Barkley marathon. So if you do a bit of research, all the marathon registration fees around the world will cost you anywhere from 1,000 rupees to like 1,000 rupees and onwards. But the registration fee for Barclay Marathon is just $1.6, which is roughly 150 rupees. So 150 rupees and the toughest race in the world. I think the innovator here is not the marathon runners, but the founder himself. Next, as I said previously, all the money in the world couldn't make Manchester United use the talents of Memphis Depay, and with so much salary from United, Memphis Depay couldn't make a career in a big club like Manchester United. So that's it. These are just my observations within the sports industry. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Suraj, uh,
Yes. So we have one question. So we know like players need to improve themselves. So how is like technology being used to improve the players' performance? Like how do they understand their weaknesses and all those things? Do you have any idea?
okay, so the simple way to analyze yourself would be to look at your sports film. So if you have played a match, for instance, for a cricket or a football match, take a look at your film, how you have played, how you have responded to a particular situation, um, and also take a look at the opponent, what they have been doing. Find a pattern. Every team which has won will have a pattern, be it a defensive pattern or an offensive pattern. Every team will have a pattern. So find that pattern and try to come up with a solution to negate that pattern. Uh, when you're playing, so when you have just finished a net session, yeah, and come back and look at your batting or bowling, look at what are the things that have gone wrong, look at the data. If you're being hit for a four, what's your comeback ball? If you're uh, if you're if you if you have like if you're a batsman and if you have four dot balls, what's your release shot? So four dot balls in a T20 game might be might put the batsman under intense pressure. So what is the kind of shot you will play when you have played four continuous dot balls? So these are the kind of things. These are the simplest ways in which you can improve your performance using technologies, but there are many others.
We have another question.
Yes.
Do machine learning and artificial intelligence, such concepts play an important role in the sports technology innovation?
Okay. So I'm going to be very frank. I'm not an expert in machine learning area, but I can say for sure, uh, any kind of data or any kind of analysis you do, if you can't explain that analysis to the coaches and the players who need it the most, then your analysis is not of use. So if you can't, so if you have spent a month, a year on an analysis you have done, and if you can't communicate the analysis you have done to a coach or a player, it's useless. So it depends upon how you communicate. Yes, Suresh.
Says obtained since otherwise it's of no use. That's what I think you mean.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Any more questions?
Participants keep posting queries we'll get it answered by the speaker. So do you have any? We have another question. Do you have any idea about what are the softwares being used to analyze the performance of the speaker? Sorry, performance of the players.
Okay, it depends on what kind of sport you are into. So let's take a common example of football. So there's multiple companies around the world doing using different softwares. There's Huddle, there's Stats Perform, and there's Stats Bomb. So different kind of companies use their own software. Uh, some of them are even available for a free trial if you're up to exploring that.
And then we have Premier Leagues being conducted in India as well. For example, we have the Indian Premier League. So, do the team franchises do they study the data before selecting the team, or is it just understanding how the players they have been playing and playing for the past, and are they just being selected by visual? I mean, by thought like this, if we select this particular player, we'll be able to make a good score from this team like that. Or do they do like that, or they also use technologies? So,
Okay, that's a good question. So a lot of teams initially when the IPL started, a lot of teams didn't use sport like data analysis or statistics, but I think 2018 was the year in which all the teams understood. 2018, the mega auction in IPL was a turning point where all the teams were using data analysis to make an informed decision. uh, I would say still teams always have an analyst within their payroll, but it's up to the coaches and the players to use it, because some players might need a lot of information, and some players might never need any information at all. So teams are open to using sports science and sports analytics, but not all the players are using it yet.
We have another question. Can you please share about how to make a career out of the sports innovation business and the especially sports analytics, etc. Can you give a brief plan, career plan about how to make career into this particular field?
Okay, Suraj. So this is a very broad question. I would say that in the simplest way to answer is the sports industry in India is growing, and for the past 2 3 years it's been growing at a very good rate, and there are a lot of job opportunities within India for sports. You just need to look around and explore more. If you want more specific, since it's a very broad question, I'm not exactly I don't know exactly what you're looking for. But if that person who has asked the question can take my contact number, my email ID, or anything, uh, he or she can reach out to me with specific questions, and I'm happy to answer them.
Sure. I will just wait for a few minutes. We can look for any
Sure.
other. Uh, we have another question. Among various career opportunities that we have in the field of sports, which one is right now booming and which one is best one to pursue? So we have this another question.
I didn't get the question.
We
Which
have
is a lot of
various
scope.
opportunities available in the field of sports. For example, how we have completed sports business and innovation like that. Which course is one of the best one that is available right now, and which has a lot of career opportunities in the field of sports.
Okay, again, it's a very broad question, but I would say the sports media is picking up in India. Uh, I mean, it's also diverse into non-cricket sports as well. So a lot of non-cricket sports has been covered in the media comparatively well. So I would say sports media is one to look out for.
Yeah, okay, sure. Participants keep posting your queries. Will get it answered by the speaker.
Suraj, is there any more questions?
Yes, sir, we have one question. Which sport would help us build up a good discipline?
Which sport?
As we yes, which sport would help us build a good discipline in the life?
That would be a very if mean, we all have our own biases, so that would be a very unfair question to ask. It's a good question, but I wouldn't base my answer on a bias. So I would, whichever sport you like is, you can learn from that. So if you like cricket, it teaches you a lot. If you are into football, it also teaches you a lot. So whatever sports you are into, if you keep searching for a lot of things, the sport will teach you. If you can't say a single sport teaches you a lot. So yes.
We have another question. Like particular participant has been playing cricket for a while. He's asking if he could, what is the kind of course, if any, that he can pursue by the side, which will complement each other. For example, he's been pursuing something in cricket. What are some other course which will complement this game? He wants to know.
Okay, this two years you're looking into it. There's many courses in India which teaches you performance analysis and data analysis. You can take that course, and that would be a starting point in looking into various options. You can go into in future, but uh, personally my advice would be, before looking at a course, I would say there are many websites which offer you free data, like ESPN, Cricinfo, and cricksheet.org. These websites give you free data. So if you're playing cricket, you might know the intricacies of strategies and everything. So download those data, play around with that data, and see if you can find any pattern in any teams you are following. If you can come up with patterns, start a blog, start writing your findings, and eventually you will find a company who will be able to help you, and you will be happy to uh, get you on their payroll.
Sure. Uh, Participants, do you have any other questions? We'll keep posting it. We'll get it answered. And also, feedback link has been shared in the live chat box. So please do fill it.
Suraj, feel free to share my contact details if anyone has any more questions. With even if you have any specific questions to related to any sport, I can.
Sure.
I'll be happy to help them. Even if I can't find the answers, I could give them the leads which would find them the answers.
Sure. So, participants will post this mail ID in the live chat box. Please, if you have any further queries, even after the end of this session, or if you want to know various career advices or any other thing, please feel free to contact. Um, Okay, fine. So I believe like we have answered all the questions. So we come up with the end of this session. Yeah, I along with team 2020 helpers uh, really want to thank Mr. today's speaker, Mr. Mithran Deepa, for a wonderful insight and an insightful session. on the various innovations that are being done in the field of sports. We have got very great answers for all the questions that you have asked. So, thank you so much, Mr. Mithran, sir, for coming up and sharing your valuable time along with us and educating our learners on this field of sports. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the opportunity, Suraj, and detailed you helped us.
Yeah, thank you. Participants, please fill the feedback form that has been shared in the live chat box, uh, and we'll sign off for today's session.